Imagine a city designed never to change, not for a generation, not for a century, forever. In the Republic, Plato began with the soul and the eternal forms. Decades later, in the Laws, the same philosopher starts somewhere stranger, with dirt. Where's the farmland? Where's the harbor? He's no longer designing the best city imaginable. He's designing one that can survive history itself. The pivot is methodological. The Republic builds upward from the soul. Justice first, philosopher kings, communal property, poets exiled. The Laws builds downward from the ground. Geography first, written statutes, families, and private property preserved. Poetry rehabilitated under strict regulation. This is not a softer republic, it's a different project. The Republic asks what's best, the Laws asks what's durable. Without philosopher kings to interpret the good, citizens need fixed rules, sacred backing, and a landscape that resists temptation. Plato has stopped designing for ideal humans. He's designing for actual ones. To stop history, start with the land. Plato anticipates Montesquieu by 2000 years. Terrain shapes character. Athens is the cautionary tale. Built on a busy harbor, Athens must import grain. Importing grain means importing foreigners. Foreigners bring ideas. Ideas bring innovation. And for Plato, innovation in a rightly ordered city means decay. So Magnesia is placed inland, ringed by farmland, self-sufficient in food, far enough from the sea to discourage trade. The geography itself enforces the politics. No commerce, no contact, no contact, no change. Geography is the outer wall. Sacred law is the inner one. In the Republic, philosopher kings interpreted justice case by case. Magnesia has none, so every law must be written, public, and binding. But Plato adds something startling. Each statute carries a preamble, a short exhortation explaining why the law is good and why a virtuous citizen would want to obey. The preamble persuades, the statute commands. Where the Republic exiled poets, the Laws turns the legislator into the poet. And behind every law stands the state cult, festivals, temples, divine sanction. Citizens don't just follow rules, they participate in a sacred order. Sacred law tells citizens why to obey. But the city's architecture makes obedience structural. Start with property. Magnesia has 4 wealth classes defined by multiples of a basic land allotment. 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. 4 is the ceiling. Anything earned above the cap is automatically confiscated, not to the state but to the gods. It flows into the temples. The effect is subtle and radical. The line between private wealth and the public good dissolves. You cannot accumulate enough to disturb the social order. Excess literally becomes sacred. Now the population. Magnesia has exactly 5,040 households. The number looks arbitrary. It isn't. 5,040 is divisible by every integer from 1 through 12. That makes it the most administratively flexible number Plato can find. 12 tribes, 12 districts, 12 months, taxation, military levies, jury duty, festival rotation. Every civic burden divides cleanly. This is Pythagorean numerology in its strict sense, numbers as the hidden architecture of order. To hold the count fixed, families average 2 children. Childless couples borrow children from larger households. If population still grows, Magnesia does not expand. It founds a colony elsewhere. The mother city stays exactly the size it was on the day of its founding. There's one more lock, currency. Inside Magnesia, money is base metal, iron, lead, stamped with a value recognized only at home. Carry it abroad and it's worthless scrap. No foreign coin circulates inside the city. Citizens cannot lend at interest, cannot accumulate liquid wealth, cannot fund private ventures across borders. Commerce is strangled by design. Add it all up, fixed land, fixed wealth, fixed currency, fixed population, 12 tribes for 12 months. The city has stopped being a polity in any ordinary sense. It has become a calendar. Magnesia is a microcosm, a small model of the cosmos itself. Each tribe governs for 1 month. Each year, government rotates fully around the circle. Time in Magnesia is no longer linear. It cycles. This is the deeper claim, and it's worth pausing on. For Plato, all change in a rightly ordered city is decay. Stability isn't stagnation. Stability is participation in cosmic order. The stars don't progress, they return. The seasons don't innovate, they cycle. A city correctly built mirrors that motion. Symbolically, Magnesia is the triumph of Apollo over Dionysus. Apollo, the god of sun, lyre, geometry, measure the recurring cycle. Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, rupture, history breaking open. Greek culture lived in the tension between them. Plato chooses sides decisively. The poets, the festivals, the music, even the dances of Magnesia are all regulated to Apollonian rhythm. Innovation in melody is forbidden. Novelty in dance is suspect. The city is tuned like a lyre to a single eternal pitch. 3 misunderstandings to clear away. First, the laws is not a watered-down republic. It is a different solution to a different problem. How to build a city without philosopher kings. That requires written law, sacred sanction, family, property, and a rigid material structure. Second, 5040 is not mystical decoration. It is engineering. Plato chose the number for its divisibility because a city must be partitioned cleanly for taxation, conscription, and a rotating office. The numerology serves administration. Third, when Plato holds change, he doesn't think he's killing the city. He thinks he's saving it. In his metaphysics, the cosmos is already perfect. A city that mirrors the cosmos and refuses to deviate isn't dying. It's holding its shape against entropy. Whether you accept that picture is another question. But Plato's Magnesia is not a fantasy. It is the most tightly engineered counter-history ever proposed. Step back and see what Plato has done. He has substituted cosmic time for historical time. There is no progress in Magnesia, only return. Modernity will reverse this entirely. Hegel, then Marx, will declare that history is meaning, that humanity becomes itself only by changing. Plato would call that the philosophy of decay perfected. But his question never goes away. Every utopia that follows, Thomas More's island, the monastery, the kibbutz, the plant commune, wrestles with the same engineering problem. Can you freeze a society without killing it? Can a community be tuned tightly enough to hold its shape, yet loosely enough to remain alive? Plato's answer is brutal and consistent. Tighten everything: land, wealth, currency, population, music, calendar. Lock each variable. What survives is no longer a polity in motion. It is a polity in orbit, a small replica of the heavens ticking through 12 months, 12 tribes, 12 districts, forever. The city has stopped time by becoming time. That is the blueprint of Magnesia.